So if you're like most people, you probably only really notice the big shows airing each season. Like we got Chainsaw Man, Bleach, Mob Psycho, My Hero Academia, and so on airing currently. But if you're like me and you actually look through the other shows as well to see if anything else might interest me, then you might realize there's actually a lot more out there. If you're watching this video, you probably know what one I'm going to be talking about in particular. And yeah, it's none other than Bocchi the Rock. I saw someone say on Twitter that they think this anime honestly is anime of the year potential, but the thing is, it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly what makes it have that potential, and I honestly do agree. Now, if you're watching this video, I assume you're either someone like me who, just loves to watch other people talk about things that you love, or maybe, you're looking for a recommendation or you've heard of this show Bocchi the Rock and you want to know what makes it that amazing. Well, like I said, it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly, so I figured what better to start with other than just giving you at least a brief idea of what the show actually is. So, Bocchi the Rock is basically just about a girl who's pretty much you. And if you think I'm joking, then I don't know what to tell you. Okay, fine. Anyways, so it's about a girl named Hitori Goto who has a ridiculous amount of social anxiety, if you can't tell. So basically, she's lonely, has no friends, etc. But she lives in an online world and somehow has, like, I forget what it was, like 30 or 50,000 subscribers. So, maybe she's not you. Anyways, she's basically been attached to guitar for the last few years of her life, and her dream has become to play in a band one day. But when you're someone who struggles with tons of social anxiety, that's kind of a hard dream to achieve. So she brings her guitar with her everywhere, hoping that someone will notice her and just be like, "Oh my God, cool guitar!" And of course, that mission fails until she comes across Najika, a girl of her age who just so happens to be in a band, and they recently lost their guitarist, so they're desperate for one. And she kind of, brings Bocchi into the band, and that's about it. And then from there on, pretty much it starts the whole, band life. So I know what you're thinking. On the surface, it just looks like another of those typical cute girls doing cute things shows. Like, what's so special about it? Well, again, like I said earlier, it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly what's so special about it. So I'm just going to kind of, explain personally what I think really makes it stand out. So first of all, I think obviously the most eye-catching thing is all the different visual representations that they use to represent Bocchi's social anxiety. Apparently, I struggled to say that. So I'm sure at this point most of you have seen some sort of image, or maybe even a GIF of Bocchi. Like I know that one where she's glitching out was a big popular one, for example, and there's many others too. But they just find really creative ways to represent Bocchi's anxiety attacks, and a lot of the creativity behind them is just insane as well. Like some of the production that looks like it went into just these scenes alone is like insane. So I mean, it clearly shows that Cloverworks, which is the studio that made the show, if you don't know, like they clearly cared about this show and made it quality. They weren't just like just trying to like rush through those scenes or anything. Okay, now the next thing I think the show did really well is honestly just the comedy. Now I know there's so many anime nowadays that are tagged with comedy, and I'm not saying that they aren't funny, but I don't feel like they have like an abundance of comedy. Whereas honestly, the comedy in Bocchi, I feel like is just amazing. Like it legitimately, I mean, it's not like it makes me like laugh like crazy, but it honestly makes me crack a smile for most of the episode. I mean, not like I'm kind of smiling through the whole episode anyway because I love this show, but like, I mean, there's just so many good comedy scenes. Like in the first episode, you have a scene which I'm probably gonna put up in the video too, where like you literally have a fake ending, and it looks like Bocchi's dying, which is just funny. Obviously, you have all like the different like visual things like I showed already. Like there's a lot of the comedy honestly definitely surrounds Bocchi and like her panic attacks and stuff. But this anime just for some reason does comedy so good and so much better I feel like than most other shows I've seen that I think for sure it definitely is one of the things that sets this show apart from other shows. Now I'm sure you've already seen some of the characters from the videos I've put up and stuff, but honestly, I feel like the characters is another reason why this show is just so good. No, I mean the overall character traits and stuff might not be anything too unique. Like you got the obviously shy, introverted, socially anxious Bocchi. You got Deal, which is also she's kind of shy, but she's kind of that shy, quiet one, not necessarily the socially anxious one. Najika obviously is like kind of like cheerful, excited, like that happy-go-lucky person, I guess. And then Kita, which I don't know if you've seen a ton of her in here, but she's kind of also like cheerful, excited, but she's kind of got that trait that you've seen in some other animes where she's just overly obsessed with another character for no reason whatsoever. Um, but just the way the characters interact with each other, I guess the best way to describe it is it just feels really real. Like, it does not feel scripted, it doesn't feel forced. It just honestly feels like four friends just having fun together and just kind of like enjoying life, trying to make their own band and stuff. Like, it's just the best way to put it, if I'm being completely honest. Is it's just the characters just feel really real, and it feels like you could really connect with them and stuff. Like, they don't feel like they're just scripted characters. And even if they sound simple on paper, I think the characters in this anime are just so well done that I really think it just sets definitely helps to set it apart from other anime for sure. Going into one character in particular, obviously the main character Bocchi. I mean, I've already shown a lot of it and stuff, but basically, I just said the way they show, social anxiety through her, and a lot of the, scenarios she goes through, or the things she thinks of when certain things happen. I just feel like so much of it is just represented so well, and overall, just the character represents social anxiety so well that I feel like you really don't see in other anime. Like, yeah, you get socially anxious characters in other anime, but I feel like I've never seen one to the extent of her. And I feel like anyone who has social anxiety pretty much can easily relate to her, and I think her character alone just makes the show that much better. I mean, I feel like I could still talk about a lot more. Like, even our animation is stunning, to be honest, as you probably saw from throughout the video. But like, there's just so much good stuff about this that I don't even really feel like I need to mention that much. Like, it's just obviously a really wholesome, cute girl show that just has, in my opinion, like amazing comedy, amazing characters and the way they interact and stuff. Obviously, amazing, representations of social anxiety and how they represent it visually. And it's really just obviously a show about cute girls, and I love how I have to keep saying cute girls because technically they are, but just girls who, want to live out their dream of forming a band together. And at least for me, whenever I see a show like this that just has to do with people, and which seems like it's usually girls kind of just enjoying a hobby together, I just get hooked on these type of shows. And this is arguably probably one of the best I've seen. And personally, if it keeps up at this rate, I think this is on pace to legitimately become one of my favorite anime that I've watched so far. Hey, what's up? Hope you guys enjoyed. I know this is a very different kind of video and the first time I've ever done something like this. So I know it's not going to appeal to everyone, but for those of you who did stick around and did enjoy it, thank you. And hopefully, I'll be able to do some more stuff like this because personally, stuff like this definitely appeals to me a lot more now. Um, I have a history of not being super consistent with uploading. So that's why I can never promise anything, but all I can say is hopefully, this is not going to be me taking a permanent break again. But I don't want to drag on this video too long, so all I can say is all, the mandatory stuff. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, all that stuff. If you didn't, don't. I really don't care. It's personally up to you. And hopefully, I'll see you in another video soon.